I hope they play Hot to Go.
What did that guy just say? This is a Bowling for Soup concert.
In all honesty, I really want to do this trend with someone. Maybe this week. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. This week, we're gonna have to remember Mr. James Earl Jones. Unfortunately, he did pass away at the age of 93. And I feel like not only the Star Wars community, maybe even the Lion King community, but a lot of people that were fans of him were mourning his passing. And the only thing that Star Wars fans, for example, can actually think of is that he is now reunited with Princess Leia. And unfortunately, Luke Skywalker is still staying behind. And he actually did post it, by the way. Mark Hamill posted on social media, RIP Dad, with the heartbroken emoji. And I'm just like, sucks. But my boy was a legend. He really did have that strong voice. And now I'm wondering, did he actually record some lines for the upcoming Mufasa movie? I don't know, but now I have to go watch this movie, even though I said I wasn't going to. But oh well, if he's in there, it's a must. But this week's episode, we're going to be talking about a bunch of music drama, like Dave Grohl's cheating scandal, and then Chester Bennington's son attacking the lead singer Emily Armstrong, that James addiction altercation that happened between the singer and the guitarist. So yeah, lots of things, but we're still going to be talking about other things in pop culture. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this episode started. It's crazy that this past Friday was Friday the 13th, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people, I don't know about my listeners, got a small piece of tattoo for maybe $13 or probably for cheap at that. What did I do? I got a haircut, and I actually got my nails done. Look, you can even hear it. It's like really long, and I'm not used to long nails. You're gonna see it unless if you already saw my podcast episode announcement. You see the haircut and then you see the nails. There's a reason why. I never get my nails done, by the way. I'm letting you guys know. It's only on rare occasions, and the last time I got my nails done was for Rammstein's concert back in 2022 when they came to San Antonio. Which, by the way, Till Linderman's going on tour this Tuesday. Oh my god. But yeah, no, unfortunately I'm not going. But yeah, you guys will see why I got my nails done. And again, I feel like it's going to be a tradition for that. But keep your eyes peeled on my YouTube channel. Dun, dun, dun. But anywho, before we kicked off the movies category, I wanted to talk about two things that is not movie or like any other category related. I mean, they are, but it's pop culture still. The first thing I wanted to talk about is just basically me giving a major shout out to Bon Jovi for helping a woman in distress over there in Nashville. So there's a video that a lot of people have released on social media where you see Bon Jovi talking to the woman who was hanging outside of a bridge that looked like she was gonna jump off, and like they were talking for a couple of minutes, and next thing you know, Bon Jovi helped the lady climb back into the bridge and they hugged it out. Honestly, just me watching it, I did cry because it was kind of emotional just to see somebody who was willing to jump off a bridge and just end their life. However, another thing I noticed, and especially once I saw it on the comment section, was that people were seeing that she was wearing scrubs, like she was possibly working in the healthcare field. And a lot of people who can relate and said that, you know, whenever you're working in that kind of area, it does get stressful when you see things that you're not used to seeing and cannot do anything about it. And sometimes it just takes over your mind to where you just, you know, that. And the thing is that the part for me that kind of like made me look at Bon Jovi in a different way is that he literally took the time to step away with whatever he was doing and talk to this person. Like, he didn't care if other people were gonna intervene. Like, he sees this person in distress and he's gonna help out, and he did it in the most calmest way possible. Like, he just went over there, said hi. Like, he didn't say, oh, hi, I'm John Bon Jovi, whatever. No, he didn't do that. He just casually started talking to this person. Major shout out to him. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're struggling with mental health and need to find out who to call, who to talk to, there's so many sources available for you guys. I did look up on Google. I'm like, where is the national hotline? And I did not know this. This is how I need to stay updated with stuff like this. But you can actually call or text 988, and it's a lifeline where you can actually talk about these heavy topics or just anything that has to do with life challenges where you feel like you have nobody to talk to. Boom, you can talk to them. And if you don't have access to a mobile device, there's also a chat option where you can actually go on the website and talk to a person if that's easier. But yeah, there's so many resources out there for you guys. Ending your life is not a good option, and trust me, there is so much more to live for. But anywho, let's go ahead and move it along. I know we're talking about emotional topics, and I'm over here getting emotional about the next thing I'm gonna be talking about. So who's over here cutting onions? So Ewan McGregor has officially received his Walk of Fame star this past week. Amongst one of the people that gave a speech about him was none other than Hayden Christensen. He talked about his friendship with Ewan during the filming of Star Wars, and Hayden actually ended his speech with, quote, "I love you, brother," with Ewan replying back, "I love you too," and they were hugging it out, and I'm like, oh god, like, this is so, I'm already wanting to cry. But I'm over here like, damn it, I wish I could go see them when I go to SpaceCon next month, because they're both gonna be there. But the tickets are either expensive or sold out. I think it was individually. But I was like, oh my god, can I be a part of this? Whatever y'all have, it's so beautiful. And I think I read that Ewan mentioned that he wanted to do another, I don't know if it was going to be like a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he wants to return as the character. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Hayden wants to come back as Darth Vader. But then again, you know, now that James Earl Jones is no longer with us, he can no longer do the voice unless if they do AI with it. But it's going to piss off a lot of people. But then again, I'm like, can we just do another prequel? Maybe like redo the Clone Wars? Just saying. Ideas out there. We love to see it. So there's that. And with that being said, let's go ahead and kick off the movies category. The first thing we need to talk about is Venom: The Last Dance. New trailer, and I think we finally understand what the plot is going to be about. I swear to God, I'm going to be so pissed if this movie doesn't do well in the box office because the trailer looks so damn good. First of all, I am going to give you guys a teeny tiny spoiler because it is on the trailer. I don't want to ruin the movie for y'all. So if y'all don't want to hear what I'm about to say, skip the next minute or so. In 3, 2, 1. Are we getting Noel already? So if you guys do not know, Noel is the god of the symbiotes. We actually got to see the first appearance back in, I think it was 2013, 2015 with Thor in the comics, but officially we got to see him in the comic book storyline of Venom back in 2018. And I actually have that issue. I was just not expecting for the character to be on the big screen already. So I'm like, sweet Jesus. But then again, time went by so fast. So there's that. See, and there's some drama behind it because apparently creators Ryan Stegman and Donny Cates were not aware that Noel was going to be in the movie. And Stegman did post on social media about being able to afford a lazy river motor around his house. And people are saying that it's just a reference to creators not making a lot of money when their creations are adapting into other media. I did not know that. I thought they were going to get more money out of that, but not so much. So I'm like, huh. Now I'm starting to understand why a lot of people hate the MCU. The other thing I also wanted to point out is that it looks like Toxin won't be the main villain. And I'm kind of pissed about that. But still, Go check out the trailer if you haven't done so. But Venom: The Last Dance will be on theaters on October 25th, and it will be the last Venom movie with Tom Hardy. You best believe there will be a movie review about it, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be mixed reviews. So there's that. Keep your eyes peeled. The other movie trailer I also wanted to talk about is Smile 2. And honestly, I have no idea what this movie is about, because I haven't even seen the first one. It's just basically like another horror genre movie. It is different though. It's not about people being possessed. Instead, it's just a lot of people giving creepy smiles. So there's that. The trailer is out for you guys to check out. I watched it, and the first thing that came out of my mind was not expecting Drew Barrymore to be there. The trailer just mostly consists of people giving creepy smiles and whatnot. And this movie is set to come out on October 18th, just in time for Halloween. Am I gonna watch it? Probably not, because again, I haven't seen the first one, so there's that. If you are planning to watch it, make sure to watch the first one just in case, so that way you're not confused about what the second movie is going to be about. Now let's go ahead and move it along. So I'm hearing that the MCU is working on a new Spider-Man movie, which is gonna be Spider-Man 4. And I honestly thought it was just rumors, so that's why I haven't mentioned it whatsoever. But once I'm starting to hear, okay, it's confirmed, and I'm starting to hear news about it, I'm like, okay, I guess let's go ahead and talk about it. So it is said that the Shang-Chi director, Destin Daniels Cretton, will be directing the next Spider-Man movie. Even more, I'm not sure if you heard, but there are a lot of rumors that Andrew Garfield will be appearing here. And I'm over here thinking, is Tom Holland gonna be there? Is Zendaya gonna be there? You know, like, what's it gonna be about? But I'm pretty sure the script hasn't been finalized, and so far we don't know what the plot might be about. And speaking of scripts being finalized, Constantine 2 is already in the works. The script is done. Keanu Reeves and director Francis Lawrence are returning so far, and it looks like it will be a rated R movie. One of the producers did say, quote, "You know, it's in my inbox right now. Funny enough, I'm too scared to read it though. I want it to be good so bad." And a lot of people are saying, damn, we haven't had a Constantine sequel in such a long time. And I'm over here like, how long? If this movie doesn't get released next year, it's gonna be over 20 years. Because the first Constantine movie came out in 2005. And I'm like, sweet Jesus. And I vaguely remember the plot. I need to rewatch it. And then once we get the trailer, I'll be like, okay, let's do a compare and contrast on that. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I'm pretty sure they're going to be filming soon. But if anything, I have a feeling this movie is going to come out in 2026. Now let's go ahead and move it along. Since we are getting Terrifier 3, Cinemark unveiled their popcorn bucket exclusive for the movie, which will be available to pre-order online on September 18th. So it's basically Terrifier's massive head with a few blood splatter and him wearing a Santa hat. And I'm assuming that the popcorn bucket is gonna open through the top of his head. I don't know how much it's gonna be, given the fact that there are so many other popcorn buckets that are probably overpriced, maybe over $20. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be more than 30. That's my 2 cents on that. But again, as I mentioned, if you are interested in obtaining one, just go to Cinemark to pre-order on the 18th. So that will be this coming Wednesday. In other news, today is the day that I find out that there was a Watch Dog movie in development and actually wrapped filming, even though it was first announced 11 years ago. The only casting we know that will be in the movie will be Sophia Wilde, which, if you guys have not seen the Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, definitely go check it out because she's in there. All I'm saying is hopefully it does better than the Borderlands movie. And speaking of which, Borderlands actually ended their theatrical run with only $31 million in the box office. Keep in mind, their budget was estimated at $150 million. Like, that was a big hit for the actors, everybody who has worked on this movie. But come on, guys, learn. So we'll see how Watch Dogs is gonna do. And that actually wraps up all I have for you guys in the movies category. Let's go ahead and talk about the only thing I have for you guys in the television category, and that is for Peacemaker fans. So James Gunn confirmed that the second half of season 2 will arrive next year after the release of Superman, which will be on July 11th, so maybe sometime after that. So my question is, what is up with new seasons being split in half? I'm praying, hoping that's not the case with Squid Game. I did hear that Stranger Things, the final season, is going to be split into 2 parts. So I'm like, why? What is the whole point of this? We still got to wait at the end of the day, so I don't know. But yeah, that's the only thing I have for you guys in the television category. But we do have a lot of music drama. So let's go ahead and kick off the music category with the Dave Grohl cheating scandal. I saw the original post like early in the morning. I can't remember what time, but I think it was posted like a day ago and whatnot. So I was late to it. But when I read it, it didn't really like shock me because I was half asleep. And I forgot about it until I saw Rockfeed talk about the post. And I'm like, wait, that's what that was about? So this is what it says. So Dave Grohl, if you guys do not know, he has an Instagram with the handle Dave's True Stories. And on there, he posted a picture, which is a comment of him talking about the issue. And it says, quote, "I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I am doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We're grateful for your consideration towards all the children involved as we move forward together. Dave." And I'm like, first and foremost, I am sad and disappointed because I've seen videos of Dave Grohl being a dad. And I was like, yeah, he's like everybody's dad because he's adorable. And the thing is that he was disfigured and he ended up betraying his family. Oh man, and it sucks. Like, you know, if you were to put yourself in the shoes of, you know, his kids, it's very, very sad. I mean, it's always common for the wife, you know, to deal with the cheating. And it turns out like there's other videos like resurfacing the internet that apparently Dave has cheated in the past. And you know that saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. But over the fact that there's a freaking kid involved now and it's a baby daughter, and I'm like, oh my god. I don't know how that's gonna work. At the end of the day, you know, he's gonna be a father regardless. At the same time, I'm like, I think everybody's still hating on Linkin Park. So I don't know if there's gonna be that much hate with Dave Grohl. Only we will see if, let's say for example, Foo Fighters decides to release new music. Maybe we'll see that backlash, but for right now, it's not as much compared to Linkin Park, which we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, I'm kind of sad. I never thought this person of all people was gonna do something like that, but oh well, it is what it is. Anywho, in other news, I don't know if you guys know, but there's rumors so far, hasn't been confirmed, that band's Warped Tour is possibly returning for their 30th anniversary next year. It was actually first reported on rockfeed.net on social media, and the post says, quote, "One of rock's most iconic brands will be making a comeback in 2025. According to multiple sources familiar with the matter, Warped Tour will return with a series of festivals next year. Warped Tour helped launch the careers of numerous noteworthy artists, including Blink-182, Sum 41, Paramore, Katy Perry, and many more. When Warped Tour returns in 2025, the rock festival will be overseen by Live Nation, although beloved festival founder Kevin Lyman is said to be heavily involved. A request for comment from Live Nation was not returned. Because of this announcement, I found so many videos on TikTok about this whole topic. One of them is just mostly memes where this one person was already on a treadmill walking in bands, and it's like me trying to learn how at 30 years old I was walking in these shoes like nothing when I was a teenager. And the comment section, everybody was like orthopedic, insoles, and I'm like, oh my god, I never felt so old. I still have, like, I want to say I have a platform pair of Vans. I actually did gone on Warped Tour back in 2015 or 14, I don't remember. But it was when Black Veil Brides was there. So it was me and my cousin that we went there. And yeah, I got to see so many bands. I think it was Set It Off. BB Rexa was there. I took a picture with her. And then Blessed to Fall was there. So many other bands. But yeah, I went to Warped Tour and Sweet Jesus. I have fun. So I would say that. The other video that I got to see on TikTok was somebody supposedly saying that, oh my god, the lineup has been officially announced. And you can tell just by looking at the picture, it's not really confirmed. In the very top of the picture, it's like debunking in a way that we're doing. But at the very top, you will see the handle that says @You Will Never Sit With Us presents the return of Bands Warped Tour 25 presented by Journeys. And the first thing you would see is like Trap, and then Linkin Park, Oasis, Falling in Reverse. But then you start getting suspicious afterwards, because after that it says Dave Grohl Notes app apology, and it's like, oh, okay, that kind of debunks the whole thing. But then they had Chris Hansen, Bad Omens, Big Text, like it's all together, and it says Bad Omens, Big Text, and I'm like, oh god. And underneath it, of all these bands, I see Kid Rock, Eddie Munson, Hawk Tuah Girl, Sex Bombs, from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Crazy Guy from Cancer Christ, Blood on the Dance Floor, I guess, Drake Bell, Aaron Lewis, and then literally right next to that, Ronnie Radke versus Sangria Sugar Bong handicap match. Weird emo guy with the headdress and ook. Like, what the fuck? Oh, and then Hex Girls. But I'm like, okay, yeah, you could tell right then and there it was not legit. But I love the graphic. I'm like, that should be the theme of it all. But again, it's not confirmed just yet. So far, we can say it's a rumor, even though there's sources out there say, oh, it might potentially happen. Keep your eyes peeled if it does happen. Would I potentially go? Depending. I know a lot of people are definitely planning to go if they do make a comeback. Think of it like, Sick New World or When We Were Young. It's like those kind of festivals, except Warped Tour actually like went around places. So yeah, they did make Houston a pit stop, so there was that. But yeah, I can never forget when I went. It was fun. I do wish I got to go like back early on, but I don't think Warped Tour ever went to Alabama whenever I was there. So yeah, there's that. Now we took a break from that announcement. We're going back to music drama, and this one is about Jamie Bennington calling out Linkin Park and its new lead singer. So he posted, I don't know if this was on social media, I want to say yeah, and oh my god, he was calling out Mike Shinoda in a post that said, quote, people aren't having a difficult time wrapping their heads around the prospect of Linkin Park reinventing itself. They are having a hard time wrapping their heads around how you, number one, hired your friend of many years and literally handled Emily Armstrong to replace Chester Bennington, knowing Emily's history in the church and her history as an ally to Danny Masterson is what it is. And then number two, quietly erase my father's life and legacy in real time, not only during a band interview meant to clear the air about certain aspects of Linkin Park's history and future, but during International Suicide Prevention Month. Number three, have refused to acknowledge the impact of hiring someone like Emily without so much as clarifying statement on the variety of victims that can make up, in capital words, your core fan base. No acknowledgement of the way you groom your fan base. Chester Bennington Chester's kids or family, my falling out with your wife, Anna Shinoda, who cannot be mentioned either because he's tagging them again, keep in mind, Danny Masterson victims, or even Emily's intimidation of those victims. And the list goes on and on and on, and a snail emoji. And then at the very top, I see that, like, I don't know if you guys are seeing the same picture, but I have it in a purple square. It says, I mentioned you, but you restricted my interactions with you because you don't like what I have to say. So this will have to do. See, and here are my 2 cents about it. Because I did see the comment section whenever I saw this post. And some people are saying, you know, leave the band alone, whatever. And other people are just saying, you know, the band died when Chester died, all of that. My thing is that the band is currently on tour. They're doing great, apparently. I've seen the videos where they kicked off their tour in LA. There was a lot of fans there. And they were singing, you know. Of course, there were videos being released on social media where Emily's voice just keeps cracking out, like I mentioned last week, in songs because she's trying so hard to imitate Chester's voice, which again, she needs to stop doing that. But at the same time, it's like they're doing well. Like, they're not underperforming. So in my perspective, it's like, sure, you know, they still gotta make their money, you know, because at the end of the day, people need jobs to make ends meet, and that's the case with them. Yeah, sure, the whole thing, nobody likes it, but I guess if they're doing well, they shouldn't stop. I'm not choosing any sides. I already said it, and I'll say it again just in case if you guys didn't listen to any of the previous episodes. It's okay to stop listening to the new music. Just listen to the old music where Chester was singing, all of that. As long as those files or those songs, those track lists don't get deleted from the internet, we will be okay. Alright? It's not the end of the world. This whole drama that's been happening between them, it's between them. I'm only mentioning this because it's tea. You know, everybody likes a cup of tea. But it's also being said, though, I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's a confirmation, but supposedly Emily Armstrong is having problems handling this whole backlash and might potentially step down. If she were to step down, I still believe there is going to be hatred going around that Linkin Park is still moving on without Chester. And again, there's so many bands out there where the founding members are no longer a part of the band that it is right now. So it's still gonna have to happen. Business-wise, that's what it is. But either way, I feel like with Emily, it was not a good choice. I don't like the way how she sings. Like, again, her trying so hard to do Chester's voice. Aside from that, is she a great singer? Yeah, you know. She should stick with what she can sing. That's all I gotta say about this whole thing. And now let's go ahead and talk about even more tea. More music tea, and this one involves Jane's Addiction. And if you guys do not know, they actually had to end their show in Boston a little bit early because there was an altercation between the singer Perry Farrell and Dave Navarro. A lot of fans who attended were explaining, like in the comment section of the video, that Perry looked like he was probably like on drugs or intoxicated because he was mumbling most of the words during the performance. On the video, you actually see Dave Navarro trying to de-escalate the situation, but Perry still insisted on fighting. And the band released a statement apologizing and announced that they had to cancel the next show in Bridgeport and also providing refunds for the fans who purchased the tickets. So what? Is that it for Jane's Addiction? Like, no more of them performing? Or hey, replace the lead singer for that. So, I mean, in this case, you already know that the lead singer is just like done. He's like addicted. Oh, hey, I see why they call the band Jane's Addiction. Nah, I'm kidding. But no, addiction's no joke for that. And honestly, guys, if you just look at Perry, it's more reasons why y'all need to stop doing drugs. So there's that. But yeah, it sucks for them because it looks so unprofessional. But oh well, it is what it is. You can't control the other people. You can send them to rehab, but who knows what's gonna happen. I don't know what was Perry's deal with Dave Navarro. I guess he didn't make it an Ink Master. And he just said, you know what, nah, fuck you. Because, I mean, he really did say fuck you to Dave Navarro, so. Anywho, let's go ahead and move it along. In funny news, well, I mean, I was leading up to that anyways. Have you guys ever seen Dance Gavin Dance fighting with Black Veil Brides? Well, that's exactly what happened during Falling in Reverse's show in Pennsylvania. They even had the World Star logo on the screen, and I'm like, World Star! And I'm like, no, it was too much. But if you watch the video, it looks so hilarious because, you know, of course they were play fighting and whatnot. But why is nobody talking about one of the members? I don't know if it was from Black Veil Brides or Dance Gavin Dance, but they were literally punching the floor. Like, I'm like, oh my god. Oh, I wish I went to go see them live because I bet you the freaking show was hilarious. I've seen Ronnie Radke just, you know, bring his dad mode on. Whenever he sees fans fighting, he's like, stop fighting, stop fighting, stop fighting. You know, and I'm like, is that how you talk to the birds? It's funny. So I'm sad that I didn't get to see them live. Maybe next time, we'll see. But that whole video, I'm like, that takes the cake. I cannot help but to also notice Andy Biersack just being carried. And I'm like, see, and this is why it's so good to be having that whole collaboration with Ronnie, because you're having fun, you're joking around. It's not like shitty as what people say out there. So yeah. Anywho, let's move it along to something else. And now we're going to talk about Till Linderman. My boy is collaborating with Joey Kelly to release the book, The Rhine, Deep Waters Are Not Still. I got to see the description on Amazon, even though it still redirected me to the Deutschland website. And I'm like, Google Translate. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still not a pro with my German, so there's that. But the description says, 2 men, 2 extremes, 1 river. Till Linderman, singer of Rammstein, and Joey Kelly, member of the Kelly family. What unites them both is their passion for nature. After Yukon and Amazonas, the two now explore the Rhine, Germany's longest river and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and tell in an interview what their fascination with the river in the heart of Europe lies in. Again, this is Google Translate, so I'm not gonna try to fix the sentences right then and there. But it also says, the Rhine meanders from the Alps to the North Sea through breathtaking landscapes and connects several countries and culture. Historic cities such as Cologne, Mainz, and Basel, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, adorns the banks of the Rhine and tell their century-old stories. With breathtaking landscape photographies by Thomas Stechelhaus. It's German. I am sorry, I'm butchering the last names. Along with the photographs, Till Linderman is also providing poems and an interview. I don't know if it's about, the Rhine or other things. The book is going to be like in a gift illustrated format for photography enthusiasts, Rhine residents, fans of Rammstein, or the Kelly family. And this book is set to release on October 7th of this year, but you can pre-order it now for 91.59 euros, so almost $100 in USD format. Anywho, other things that I also wanted to talk about, there's a festival that we didn't talk about last week, but Slam Dunk Music has shared their first announcement of artists that are going to be in the festival next year. It's 2 days and 2 different venues, where one is going to be on May 24th, which happens to be on a Saturday, at South Hatfield Park. And then on May 25th, the next day, is going to be at North Temple Museum. Some of the artists include A Day to Remember, As Is, Dream State, Acolyte Trio, Electric Cowboy, Knuckle Puck, Less Than Jake, Neck Deep, Newfound Glory, The Used, and still more yet to be announced. So if you guys are interested in attending, tickets are now on sale at slamdunkfestival.com. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in the music category, we have a lot of things to talk about on there. A video that I found on my TikTok For You page, and I'm like, what is going on? So if you guys do not know this band called Maneskin, definitely go listen to them. But their lead singer, Damiano David, has been teasing us on something, and I'm trying to figure out what. And the video is just him traveling in a car, and as you know, he's traveling, whatnot, he says, "My name is Damiano David. I was born in 1999, Rome, Italy. I love music, arts, and women. I love the feeling of beautiful clothes and the smell of nice perfume. In my life, I've been a thief, a liar, a lover, a shapeshifter. I travel all around the world to find my voice, just to end up where everything started. My name is Damiano David, and today is the first day of my life." And I'm like, is he leaving Maneskin? What is up with all of these bands breaking up? But again, I'm not confirming if it is. I'm just saying. It's a theory, okay? Do not quote me on that. But other fans are thinking the same thing, because it's like, what does this mean? Because yeah, he does say, today is the first day of my life. I don't want him to go solo, you know. There's that. But we won't find out exactly what's going to happen until September 27, which is what he's teasing with. I don't know if it's a solo project, whatever it is. We will talk about it next week. I don't like these teasings. I'm telling you that for right now. But Maneskin is a really good band. So if he were to leave, I don't know how the band's going to do without him. So there's that. But that wraps up the music category. Let's go ahead and talk about gaming. So PlayStation fans are getting a new console, which happens to be the PlayStation 5 Pro. It has been officially announced by Sony and is set to arrive on November 7th. The price though, oh my god. The price happens to be $700. Literally $699.99. Why? Come on, just include the freaking 1 cent already. Come on, we don't need to be rounding up. I don't know if you guys already have the pattern in mind, but every time a new console gets announced, it's usually right around the holiday season. So expect Black Friday to be promoting the hell out of this console, even though there's not going to be a sale for it. But if that's the case, there's probably going to be a sale on the PlayStation 5 for those that do not have it. So there's that. I mean, again, I'm way behind the gaming stuff. So at this point, I'm like, if I get a console, I better have so much time to actually play. Because last time I checked, I was trying to get back on Fallout 4 and I stopped. I don't know what happened. I didn't get bored. It just randomly stopped. So we're just going to leave it at that. But yeah, it makes sense that they're having this console already announced, and then iPhone 16 is already coming out, and the only difference is one button. That's pretty much it. And I'm like, I don't know. I think buttons are going to make a comeback in the cellular world. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and move it along. If you guys did not know, Flappy Bird, the amazing game that was very addictive back in the days, is coming back. Let's fucking go. So it says here, the Flappy Bird Foundation Group has purchased the trademark and rights to the original viral mobile game, bringing it back in 2025 with new modes, characters, secrets, and more alongside with the classic game. And then I learned from Culture Crave that the creator denounces the game, and he said, quote, "I have no relation with their game. I did not sell anything. I also do not support crypto." Literally, that's all he said, and I think he posted it on X. Alongside with that, he never re-upped the trademark, which led to it being acquired by another company. The new game is tied to Web3, which likely has microtransactions. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited, but at the same time, that whole thing sounded very, very iffy. So we'll see how that's gonna go next year. The last thing I have for you guys in the gaming category is that it looks like Tony Hawk is developing a new game with Activision. He said in a recent interview with Mythical Kitchen, quote, "I wish I could tell you more, but I can tell you that I've been talking to Activision again, which is insanely exciting. We're working on something." That is the first time I've said that publicly. it will be something the fans will truly appreciate. And I'm over here like, when was the last time we got a skating game? All I'm saying. But anywho, that was the last thing. So let's go ahead and move to wrestling. So this past Friday the 13th, Chris Jericho was added to a guest match at CMLL. He went up against Místico, and Chris Jericho made the announcement on social media, expressing that the last time he was there was literally, I think I was either born or barely like a newborn, who knows. But it was 29 years ago, so there's that. While he was in Mexico this weekend, he had a meet and greet only for him to have 2 Mexican fans come up to him with this very rare Corazón de León rookie cards. Like when Chris Jericho posted the video, like you could see it in his face, he was like, what the like, these are rare. And they're probably worth like $10,000. And I'm like, oh my God. To make matters even better, he said, you know what, let's just sign it, and now the value is gonna go up even more. One of the fans actually told him like the story of how he managed to get a rookie card, and he said he went to a flea market and the vendor had no idea about the value of rookie cards, and I think he probably got it for what, $1 or $2. Like in peso format, it was like 50 pesos, less than that, so it was nothing. And same thing with the lady. It was a guy and a girl, but I don't think they're related. And same thing with her. She was like, oh yeah, I got it in a flea market. And I'm like, I better not find out that those are, you know, counterfeit. But Chris Jericho said they look legit. So I'm like, I guess. But yeah, he signed both cars. So now they're probably going to get auctioned off. It's going to be worth a lot. But again, I don't think Mexican fans will resell it. Like, they actually collect them to keep. So we'll see. If you see them out there, you already know they do exist. There's really nothing much to talk about when it comes to AEW. So I'm going to just talk about WWE really quick. So Survivor Series has finally been announced. Woo! You know, it's one of my favorite pay-per-views. And yes, they're still keeping the War Games theme. So Survivor Series War Games is actually going to be heading to Vancouver, Canada on November 30th. All I gotta say is that I want NXT to be a part of this. I have not seen this in a while, but at the same time, I'm like, are we still eventually leading up to the Bloodline War Games match? Because it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, Papa H, hear me out. Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. You were a part of that, and it was a freaking success. That's all I gotta say about that. Because the more I think about this whole Bloodline story, I know we've been talking about it for so many weeks already in the past. It doesn't look like it's gonna get there. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because, like, look at Jey Uso. Right now, this whole storyline with him, you know, being probably mommy's new favorite thing to play with, you know, is really kicking off. Like, fans want to see Jey Uso and Rhea Ripley become a thing, even though like they're married in real life, but like storyline wise, it's hilarious, and I'm on board on that. Guilty as charged. I really do want to see that. At the same time, I'm like, supposedly the plan was that Jey and Jimmy Uso were gonna be joining Roman Reigns to start that Bloodline War. I don't know, but only time will tell, because Survivor Series is not until November 30th. We're not even in October, and we still have Bad Blood coming up. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that really quick. So far, there's only 3 matches that have been confirmed, and then one that, you know, kind of got me thinking, what the hell is going on? So one of the matches is that we're going to get CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre version 1465 as predicted. But this time is going to be in Hell in a Cell. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if they're going to end the feud once and for all. But even if they did, who will Drew McIntyre target next? But at the same time, I'm like, it's really hard to pick between who's going to win, because CM Punk won the last one. Will Drew McIntyre win the next one? The next match, which is going to be very interesting, is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Maybe potentially for the custody of Judgment Day. Who knows? But yeah, they're finally gonna settle that whole feud. My thing is that, what if Damian Priest were to win that match? What's gonna happen next? Is he gonna make other feuds with other wrestlers? Or maybe potentially Judgment Day is just gonna continue to interfere and then make their feud settled probably in Royal Rumble? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud at this point. But I'm really hoping Damian wins, and I'm kind of hoping this whole thing ends. But at the same time, I'm like, we also have another confirmed match, and that's Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the WWE World Women's Championship. And that feud is never gonna settle down, because if Rhea were to win the match, then Liv Morgan is going to try to get that belt back, because rematch and whatnot. But here's the thing about that match. Rumor has it is that Raquel Rodriguez is probably going to come back and aid Liv Morgan. And that is still going to fuel me, because I'm like, Liv Morgan has not even defended that championship properly. She's been feuding with Rhea. The crowd wants Rhea. So it's like, come on, man. Don't have a shitty wrestler be champion. I don't know. That's my thing. I want Rhea to win on that one. But at the same time, I'm like, again, how I mentioned earlier, that whole Judgment Day feud is probably going to be extended for quite some time. So there's that. The other match, which I don't know if it was confirmed or not, because there was a contract signing, but we don't know exactly what it was. So on this past SmackDown episode, at the very end, you know, Roman was over there trying to say, oh yeah, like I'm the only tribal chief. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But Roman comes out, and then Cody's there, and we don't know what he signed. And my thing is that Solo comes out with Jacob Fatu, and he's over there telling Roman, he don't like you. He don't like you. And I'm just like, okay, but what are you trying to say? And when Roman signed the contract, Cody's over there imitating Roman, because Roman originally wanted the microphone from Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis gives him the contract. He's like, no, boy, I don't want this. I want the microphone. So anywho, Cody's imitating that. And then next thing you know, Cody's signing. But some people are thinking, oh, is it going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship? Or is it going to be Roman and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu? I don't know. It's not confirmed on the website. It hasn't been mentioned on social media by WWE. So we won't find out what the actual contract signing was for until this coming Friday. Now back to the only tribal chief. So now we know the true meaning of what OTC means, even though the whole crowd is saying OTC, OTC. My thing is that I was like, God damn it, I really wanted to be my meaning, but it is what it is. So he was giving a speech, basically, you know, talking shit to Solo. But he was going from original tribal chief to only tribal chief. Again, different meanings of OTC. But to me, he will always be the one true chief. Just say. But yeah, he gave his promo. He's back. And he got his eyes set on Solo. So I'm over here like, Bad Blood is going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch it. So yeah, but it's going to be in the beginning of October. And there's still more matches yet to be announced. And since we're already talking about SmackDown, which by the way, they had a new logo design. And now their theme song is by Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, interesting. But I want to point out something. They really do got to stop with the whole mystery partner announcing, because honestly, I thought Joe Hendry was going to be debuting on SmackDown for the past 2 weeks. But no. This week, it was supposedly going to be Kevin Owens going up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. And Kevin needed a partner, and they were like, oh yeah, mystery partner, this, and that. Only for them to give us Randy Orton. However, before that happened, we got introduced to Ricky from Seattle. Yeah, and then because of his debut, I thought people were going to be hating, but a lot of fans fell in love with him. And the thing is that, like, I looked at the comment section whenever WWE posted videos of Ricky, and some fans want Ricky to go up against Tonga Loa in Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. I'm like, damn, that would probably do much better than CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. All I gotta say about that. Another person said that Ricky is his tribal chief. But my favorite comment of it all is when somebody would say his name and he'll appear. I believe in Ricky. I'm like, damn, okay. I don't know what Joe has to say about that, but anywho, WWE did actually tag Ricky on some of those videos, so we actually got to see his Instagram profile, and he is a pro wrestler for like a local Seattle wrestling promotion. So already he has 10K followers, or maybe it's already increasing because of the memes, but who knows? Are we gonna see more of that guy? But it was hilarious so far. They didn't do him dirty. Just a little bit though, when Kevin Owens gave him the stunner. It's like, okay, thank you for your services, Ricky. Boom, stunner. And the last thing I want to talk about is this very interesting infographic by Wrestling Bid B on Instagram, literally comparing the general managers for both Raw and SmackDown. And they did Adam Pearce so dirty. I have to talk about it. So like on one section was Adam Pearce's, qualities or, shit that he cannot do right. And the list goes as can't even stop one guy, shows up when the victim has 3 broken bones and internal bleeding. The next one says scared of some Scottish and Australian dudes. The quote goes, I need some help. Had many problems with Chelsea Green. Even last one, bald. I'm like, damn, really? Y'all had to add that in? And then when comparing Nick Aldis, it says, can stop even 10 guys from fighting, shows up before even one punch is thrown, not scared of anyone, even infamous Tonga Loa, quote, I'm gonna handle it by myself, has 0 problems with Chelsea Green, and then lastly, great hair. I'm like, really, boy? I'm like, okay, it was hilarious. Major props for that. It was very, very informative. And with that being said, that wraps up this week's episode. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. Enthusiast on that YouTube channel. Big things are coming. That's all I gotta tell you guys. Also, I forgot. I think I even saw there was like a convention coming up again in San Antonio. But this is gonna be on October 12th. And I really want to go. But I'm like, damn, 2 trips to San Antonio in 1 month. Am I able to do that? I don't know. And why? Why, Lielers? Why do you want to go to this convention? Well, I don't know if you ever listened to my previous episodes. I actually talked about me finishing a series called Sons of Anarchy. I fell in love with the show. And it turns out Charlie Hunnam, along with other Sons of Anarchy actors, including Ron Perlman's going to be there. And then that other show with the Mayans, they're also going to be there. And I'm like, oh my god, I really want to go take pictures with them. Not only that, if you guys watch the series Netflix Cobra Kai, literally Karate Kid and Cobra Kai himself are all going to be there. So yeah, check it out if y'all want to participate. I don't know, I'm debating on that one. Because again, I'm already spending a lot of money with SpaceCon. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But maybe. Keep your eyes peeled. That's why go subscribe to the YouTube channel. But anywho, I hope you guys did enjoy this week's episode. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one.